Hey y'all, so once again we're trying to cook oxtails. The last one I cooked in the oven like I do my neck bones, but we ended up eating them that day, and then the next day, that morning, the lights went out, so we didn't get a chance to finish them up. We ended up having to actually throw them out. Sad about that, but you know, we still had our lights, so I'm not going to focus on that. But anyway, we have these. I washed them, rinsed them till the water was clear. Now I like to add a little vinegar to my water. I'm going to let these sit for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to I'll come back. I'm just showing y'all putting a little vinegar in here. I like to take my meat and sit it in vinegar and water. Vinegar tenderizes it and removes impurities. See how that water changed when I added that vinegar to it? Just that fast. So now this has quite a bit of fat right there. I think I'm going to actually cut that off. Alright, so we're going to soak these. See how that water turned when I added that vinegar? 20 minutes, and then I'll be back, okay? Well, y'all. Hey, y'all, so happy Sunday. I'm fixing the rest of the oxtails, and I'm trying a different way of fixing them. This is only my second time, y'all, actually fixing oxtails. So we're going to season them with the seasonings that I use all the time on everything that I prepare. And so, basically, when you cook, well, for me, I don't profess to be the best cook there is, but I'm a good one. So anyway, what we're going to start with, like I said, this is my second time cooking them. The first time I just seasoned them and put them in the oven. This time I'm going to fry them and cook them in a crock pot. First thing I'm going to use is some Morton salt. Just going to put a little, not a lot of salt, because a lot of other things you use have salt in it. I'm also going to use cayenne pepper that I have in this thing that's for, actually, it says onion, but I know it's cayenne pepper because the cayenne pepper that I have is Zatarain's. This is what it looks like. And see the spout for it just dump out. So I can't use that. I put that in my food and wouldn't even be able to eat it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit. My favorite thing to season with is this Tony Saturé seasoning. And in some areas you can't find it. I'm in Louisiana and it's a favorite. They also have slap your y'all, forgive me. I'm just silly sometimes. I'm going to use my favorite black pepper. Can y'all see it? Ugh. Y'all, I got a comment the other day. It kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, you know what? Nah, I ain't going to let them do me like that. The guy say, you put too much season in your food. That's why even I couldn't follow you. First of all, who are you? And secondly, you don't follow me, you follow Jesus, baby. You can subscribe to him, I'd appreciate it. But don't follow me. Follow Jesus. And then you're going to be all right. All right. So we seasoned it. Now we're going to mix it all up. And you're going to have that water. I'm going to get that out of there. Going to mix it all up. I saw what some people take and add flour on top. I'm not. I'm just going to if I can pull that off of there, I will. Yeah. I'm not going to add flour on mine when I fry it. I'm just going to fry it like this. You know, no flour on it. All right, let's head on over to the stove now. All right, here. So we're over to the stove. Because these have so much grease in them, I'm only going to put just a little. And I really don't want to put anything but olive oil. We're just going to put a little vegetable oil in the bottom of this pan. And that's just a little. That's it. I'm going to let that get hot. Now, I did have the skillet already on, heating, while I was actually mixing up. And it's not very many of these. They're going to go in a crock pot. And I'm sure it's not going to take them too long to cook. What time is it? It's about 11 o'clock on Sunday. These probably done about 4 or 5. And that's good. That's good. Sometimes on Sunday I cook early. And we may have eat off, you know, one time or whatever. Sometimes, you know, Sunday dinner is, on Sunday we don't have like, well, I don't have like lunch. We just have, like the kids, one meal all day long. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if this grease hot enough. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to let these brown on each side. I'm going to take these and put them in the crock pot. And what I've done, y'all, I took my crock pot, I put just a little water. And I went ahead and got my crock pot on high to jump start the cooking process on these. Because I cooked these 3-4 hours the last time I cooked them. I'm going to turn this fire up a little bit. So I just want to brown them on each side before I put them in the crock pot and jump. All right, y'all, so with that, I did add another one to the pot. Like I said, all we're doing is frying them. And I'm going to do this just like I do my other meats. I'm going to make a gravy off of the drippings in the bottom of the pan. That's how I'm going to do that. So like I said, I did add another one. I probably add another one, but I'm not. All we're doing is browning it though. All right, I'll be back. All right. So I'm going to bring these over here. And what I got in here is just a little beef bouillon. Just a little bit at the bottom. And some water. That's just to jump start the cooking process over here. All I did was brown them, y'all. So I'm adding them and I'm getting ready to add the other ones to the pot. That's just to the, put them in there. All right, now. The reason why I'm frying it, because you're releasing some of the flavor into the bottom of this pan. I'm gonna make a gravy off of that, and I'll show you how I do that. And you could do this with any type of meat that you want to make a gravy to. You could opt to add flour to it. Steak and rice and gravy is just something I don't really cook a lot of. I don't. When I cook beef, it's usually ground beef, or like I do the chuck roast, and I usually do it in the oven. So this is how I'm gonna do it this time. I'm just frying it like I normally would fry pork chop, without the flour, less gravy of course, and then we're going to add it to the crock pot, and I'm gonna show y'all how to do the gravy. And any type of gravy that you want, you can fix it this way. And a lot of times when you're preparing foods, regardless of what kind of meat it is or whatever, you basically could do it the same way. You know, if it's something you're gonna add gravy to it. If you're gonna do hamburger patties and add gravy, you just fry it. You don't even have to put it in oil. I see some people put oil. I didn't. I don't. Which I don't really make hamburger patties with gravy, honestly. Man, I don't. I do meatballs with gravy. All right, y'all. So I've taken those other pieces and I've added them to the crock pot. And I'm going to show you that when I add my gravy to it. I'm going to show you what they look like in the pot. But right now, we're taking our minced onion. And I don't have hardly any strength in my wrist anymore. I don't know what that is. But I'm going to take my minced onion. Minced garlic, a little of that. We're going to add it to here. And I think that's enough because I'm going to also use garlic powder. And then I cut up half of a small onion and half of a bell pepper. Or maybe not quite half. That's all I got right there. Which is enough. And so what we're going to do now is, what we're doing, we're going to fry this down, and all that goodness is in the bottom of that pan. That is nothing but flavor. You don't want to cook and take this from the bottom of that pan and throw it away. That takes your food to the next level. That's everything that's been rendered off of that meat is down in that pan. That's all it is. And as this wet, it's going to pull all that up out of there. So I'm going to let that sweat a little bit. Then I'm going to add, remember I didn't put any flour on the meat. I'm going to put the flour in that pan. Not a lot, because I don't need a whole lot. Now a lot of people you'll see when they make gravy, they take one, like if you're going to do a fourth a cup of oil, you do a fourth a cup of flour. So you have an even amount of oil to flour. I don't use a lot of oil when I make my gravy. I just don't. Only oil I'm going to use is the oil that was left in this pan. That is it. And you saw how much I put in there. That's it. See how that's coming up at the bottom? I'm going to make sure when you run that water through, it's going to get it all up too. So that's good enough. So I'm going to put this much of flour. It's not even a whole fourth of a cup. That's all I'm going to put. Now, you say, well, I've seen people when they do it, they have a lot of oil. I just told you I don't use a lot. That's the only flour I'm using. That's the only oil I'm using. And I'm gonna let this work with each other. Now, if it would be a lot more meat, I would use a lot more. But that, for me, that's all. That's all I need. We're gonna let that fry up. I got some vegetable broth, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use water. Because remember I told y'all I put a little, let me show y'all what I put in the bottom of the, I put this and a little water in the crock pot. Y'all see it? Let me bring it up so y'all can see what this is. I keep this. Be careful with it. It can be salty. I use this kind too. This is the chicken. And I also use this roux. Can y'all see what it is? Tony saturated. Now, like I said, all this stuff has salt content, so you have to be careful when you're using it. Be careful when you're using it. It just takes just a little. If you have to use it at all, sometimes your meat has enough, seasoning rendered off of it. You don't have to use that. I may not need it at all. Just if I taste it after a while and it doesn't have that taste that I want, I may add just a little. But you don't always have to add it. Sometimes a cut of your meat is flavorful by itself, So sometimes you let salt or additional salt be the last thing you add. See how that's getting hard at the bottom? And see, with it being like that, that's going to make it dark too. I just don't like to use a lot of grease because the oxtails grease themselves, right? So that's good enough. Remember, it's going to cook in a crock pot. So let's go ahead and add this water. See how it does? Now it's going to pull all that up off the bottom. All that little flour or whatever else is there too. Now, one thing I did get that I'm going to be honest, I've never used, like when we cook in the church, my sister at church, she was like, I like my stuff to be darker, so she would get kitchen bouquet. So I was watching somebody's video, and y'all, where did I put the stuff? And they use a little thing of browning sauce. And that's what I'm going to use this time. I've seen several people use, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never used it. I just bought it today and now I don't see it. Oh no. Well, I bought it yesterday. Oh y'all, look. I forgot I had this too, look. Remember I bought this off Amazon, the oxtail seasoning. So I'm definitely going to use that. But I'll be back, y'all. Let me find this stuff. Alright, y'all. So here is my... See how this gotten thick? That's from that little bit of flour that I had. And remember, we're still going to pull up all the stuff out the bottom. Now, I do want to add a little bit more water to this. And when you add it, you want to add hot water. Because it's already frying or whatever. Remember, y'all, sneeze inside your clothes. Yeah, when you're making your gravy and you adding your water to your seasoning and all that, you want this water to be hot. It don't have to be boiling hot, but it needs to be hot, okay? Now, you want this to be darker. So, this is what I told y'all about yesterday. It's a flavoring and browning sauce. It's by Savoy's. Savoy's is a company located in Louisiana. They have sausage. I use their seasoning pack to make my dirty rice. They have all kind of seasonings. So honestly, y'all, I'm going to shake this up. I've never used this stuff before, and I don't want to mess my food up. So I'm just going to put a little bit. And if I need a little more, you know, it's best to just add a little because you can add, but you can't take away, right? Woo, did I overdo it? Did I overdo it? No, I didn't. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and add this now to our oxtails. We're just going to let them go for the rest of the day in the crock pot. I'm just going to forget about them. I'm going to forget about them, baby. For some reason, I thought it would go up higher, y'all, but it won't. Oh, look, that's better. Hey, I did that. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. And see, I'm trying to get everything out that pot. And what I actually do, y'all, I'm all about my flavoring. I'm going to take that this pan, and I'm just going to run some water right across the bottom. That's all the water I'm putting in there. And getting any remaining remnants. I guess there's extra or whatever, but that's what I do every single time. Whether y'all watching me or not, that's just my thing. Alright, so this is getting ready to cook on its own. If I have to add something to it later on, I will. Honestly, I don't like the color. So I might add a little bit more of that browning sauce. I don't like that color. It's like that to me. Let's add a little more of this. Ooh, I think I went overboard that time. Nah, I'm good. Because I didn't like that color. I like this color better. Alright, we're going to let this cook. Somebody say 5 hours. But that's good. It's just a little bit after 11. And I am going to come back for my beginner cooks. We're going to throw together a gumbo today. A Louisiana favorite. Alright? Listen, y'all. Everything is love, okay? One thing I learned about life is, my mom used to say, you could attract more bees with honey than you can vinegar. Just be kind. I mean, you know, sometimes you want to lash out and people could be ugly, but you keep smiling. I've been in situations where people thought I was going to just be downright ugly to them, but I kept smiling and I kept going. And guess what? God elevated me. And Reverend Charles Stanley was on this morning, and he was talking to his son. And they said something. He said something so profound. He said, obey God and let him handle the consequences. I said, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Much love. Bye. All right, y'all. Here go my finished oxtails. I took them out of the crock pot and put them in the oven because you know how stuff draw water, and I probably had put too much water in them. They got a good flavor to them. And I don't like a real thick, flour-like consistency bread. I like it just like this. So, all right, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.